Party Animal, the audio drama, by Chris Cortez. Our story begins in a messy bedroom littered with various party items, including a noisemaker, random confetti, a half-drank martini, a 2020 New Year's Eve party hat, and more. In the background, the song Dancing Queen can be heard, as well as a shower running. This is New Year's Day, January 1st, 2020. We focus on a half-open door within the messy bedroom. Within the bathroom, we see an iPhone in a glass cup. This is where Dancing Queen is being played from. We focus on the shower and the person in the shower. This is Nicole, a young woman in her 20s, taking a shower. She appears to be deep in thought, and we begin to hear her thoughts. She continues to wash her hair and face.
Thank God. Why is everybody always thanking God? Thank God I made it to the meeting on time. Thank God you got your period. Thank God you didn't get caught with your martini in the Uber last night. Thank fucking God. It makes no sense. Why are we always thanking God for our accomplishments? Can't we just give ourselves a pat on the back and call it a day? If God supposedly gave us all free will, then why the hell are we always thanking Him? It's not like He's on standby for every single person on the planet, just waiting to intervene when needed. I mean, I know it's just a fucking expression, but I think it's time we retired it. I'm grateful for religion, but I think it's time we started giving credit where credit is due and thinking the actual reasons why shit gets done. Good going myself. I drove that asshole that tried to cut me off in traffic and made it to the meeting on time. Thank the menstrual cycle that you're bleeding for a whole week, and I won't have to start wiping baby ass in 9 months. Thank the Uber driver staring at my tits last night so I could bring my martini inside the car to no avail.
Nicole thinks for a moment and then shrugs it off.
Alright, so it needs some work. God damn it.
A few moments later, Nicole steps out of the bathroom with a robe on. She sits in front of her vanity mirror, puts down her iPhone, and starts brushing her hair. Her iPhone rings and she picks it up to see who is calling her. As Nicole looks at her phone, a picture of a young man smiling and holding a large piece of uncooked Pillsbury dough shows up on her phone. The contact name is Doughboy Dougie.
Doughboy Dougie!
Doug, the same man from Nicole's phone, is on the other end of the phone call. Doug has his phone on speaker as he drinks some water.
Oh, really, Nicole? It's a whole new goddamn decade, and we're still using that nickname?
Really, Doug? I didn't hear your date complaining about it last night when the martinis came a-flying and the ball came a-dropping. Speaking of which, how did things end up with tall, bearded, and brown-eyed?
Well, let's just say the dough stayed uncooked last night.
I'm sorry, Doug. He seemed nice.
They always do. But it's fine. Though my head is still throbbing from last night's New Year's escapades, I'm still wanting seconds. And thankfully, a friend of a friend is at our service.
Another party? Already? Who, what, when, and where?
A friend of Hulta's. It's this Saturday, and it's pretty close to your place.
Nicole is still getting herself ready for the day.
First party of the new year with new people to mingle with? Totally down.
Same here. I'm already working on my New Year's resolutions, and this party might be of some use to me.
Nicole smiles.
Same resolutions as always?
Nicole, you have no idea how done I am with this dating bullshit. I just want to find the right man and be done with it. I strive for say anything, except only really gay.
You know I support you all the way. I mean, I may not get why anyone would want to be shackled to one person, but, I'll gladly be your cheerleader.
What about you? Still the same not resolutions as always?
You know how I do. Carpe diem, Doughboy Dougie. Carpe diem.
Did we not establish the usage of that title?
Won't happen again. Scout's honor.
Yeah, when were you a scout? By the way, I was meaning to ask you last night and totally forgot. Did your pops leave already?
Yeah, the old man had another business trip overseas.
Jeez, they worked that guy to the bone, and they made him miss New Year's.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. My dad's gonna be gone for weeks. so I have the house to myself for a while.
Thinking of throwing a little house party at your place?
I'm never throwing a house party at my place, man. Too much of a hassle. I'll gladly go to one, but I ain't throwing one.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm gonna leave you in peace and nurse this hangover with some TLC. Love you, Nikki.
Love you too.
Nicole puts her phone down on her dresser. An old piece of paper with the faded words resolutions can be seen. It's partially crumbled, but a phone number is written on it with fresh ink along with the name Adam. Later that night, we see a car drive by with music blaring inside. We see that Nicole is the one driving the car.
I get knocked down, but I get knocked down, but I get up again.
Nicole pulls into the house of the party. Doug stands next to his car. Nicole gets out of the car. Doug walks up to Nicole.
Why haven't you gone inside yet?
Just got here. Was waiting for you.
Just got here. I'm 30 minutes late.
I know.
The two arrive at the door of the house. Doug opens the door, and the two walk in. Doug and Nicole scope out the party. It's healthily full. A tall man named Hota notices them.
Nicole! Doughboy Dougie!
Hota walks over to them.
What have you started?
Careful, Hota. Doug's thinking the new decade means we gotta retire his new name.
We will speak of it no more. Glad to see you guys could make it. Steve had to pick up some more pizza rolls, but he'll be back soon.
Who's Steve?
The guy throwing the party. He's an old buddy of mine. You guys want anything to drink?
Whatever your last drink was.
Martini! Just the way you make it, Hota. Spanish flair and all.
Hota smiles.
Silly girl. Drinks are coming up.
Hota leaves the two as Doug and Nicole continue forward. They see a small group in the middle of a conversation and join in.
It's just a common fact, pal. No need to overthink it.
We so need to overthink it. Now what are you lovely gentlemen discussing?
You mean what we just ended discussing?
Hey, he has a right to an opinion on this. Let's start from the top.
Oh, God.
What are your thoughts on private parts? Can you be a little bit more specific with that question? I mean the idea of it. Why are select body parts deemed private? Who declared that tits, dicks, vaginas, and butts were deemed private and could never be shown? Why can arms and legs be shown? Or ears? Because of baby making or something? Too simple.
That's what I said.
Doug smiles.
It's beyond that. Bathing suits.
Here he goes again.
Bathing suits? Bathing suits. The dude who invented the bathing suit was the one who decided specific parts of the body should be private. Hence the need for the bathing suit. Otherwise, we'd have swam bare ass and be done with it.
Doug just stares blankly at the man. Nicole, who is next to him, walks away.
Just be open-minded for a second.
We follow Nicole to a laptop connected to some speakers that are playing music for the party. Nicole goes through the song choices and selects one. Nicole starts swaying back and forth to the music. When the song kicks off, she starts shaking her hair everywhere and sings along to the song. Eventually, she flips back her hair and heads back to the group. Nicole approaches the group. It's the dumbest fucking theory I've heard in my life, and I am not being hyperbolic. It's just nature, asshole. We gotta protect our dicks, butts, pussy, and balls from predators or some shit like that. Evolution kicked in, and here we are in the year 2020. Get over it. You're not being open-minded! A man walks in. He has a thick beard and wears glasses. He holds the pizza rolls he just came in with. This is Steve, the thrower of this party. What the hell did I just walk in on? Holte walks in with the drinks.
Steve!
I'm back, dude, with 3 deluxe boxes of pizza rolls. Steve looks at one of the partygoers. Hey, let's make these last more than an hour, alright?
Yeah.
Holte hands Doug and Nicole their drinks. Nicole notices Steve.
You're Steve?
Steve recognizes Nicole. Oh my god! Is that you, Nicole?
Where do I know you from?
I'm your cousin.
Oh shit, yeah, I remember now. It's been a while, huh?
Yeah. One of the partygoers takes the bag full of pizza rolls from Steve.
I'll let you two catch up.
He runs off. Man, you've grown up. It's been so many years. Last time we hung out, I think it was a football game we went to. Yeah, remember with the cool Sega trucks they had so you could try out new games?
Vaguely? I think I was always a few years younger than you, so some things are fuzzy.
Oh, yeah, totally. I can understand that. So, are you in college or something?
Yeah, I don't really talk about school at parties. Last thing I want to think about.
Nicole realizes something and sips on her martini.
Wait a minute. You're my cousin Steve? As in Stephen Francis?
Oh, God. Please don't say my full name out loud. That's embarrassing. Just call me Steve. It's short and to the point.
I just seem to remember you now. You mentioned the football game, but the last time I really saw you was at a funeral.
Oh, yeah. That was, actually for my parents.
Now things are becoming clear. Oh yeah, I definitely remember you, Stephen.
Nicole leans in.
Listen, I only heard part of the story because I was pretty young at the time, but if I'm not too mistaken, didn't you leave your brother after your parents died? His name was Liam, right?
Steve changes his stance. He seems uncomfortable. Yeah, that was his name. I'm not sure what the family talked about after the funeral, but maybe we should address the elephant in the room and talk about this. I wouldn't mind it.
No thanks, Stephen. I think I know enough to form an opinion all by myself.
Steve stares at Nicole in disbelief.
See you around.
Nicole walks away and heads to another group. On the other side of the party, Doug is talking to the partygoer from earlier on a couch.
So it wasn't enough that I paid for his dinner, his ticket to the play we saw, or even the fact that I drove us all around the city for the whole night. That son of a bitch never returned my calls. What the hell did I do wrong?
Mitch just seems to not know what he wants, Doug. It wasn't you, man. It was that dude.
Thanks, Greg. I appreciate the support.
It's not a problem. Relationships are just a delicate thing these days, you know? I'm at the point in my life where if I run around with every man I find attractive, I'm just gonna get older and still be in the same spot I'm in.
I feel the same way. In fact, I'll tell you a little secret. It's one of my resolutions this year to finally find something long term. In fact, it's one of the reasons I came to this party. All I'm asking for is passion and dedication. It's almost like the movies Say Anything.
Except only really gay.
Can you read my mind?
If I did, I wouldn't be as nervous to ask you this next question. I unfortunately have to head out earlier than I thought I would, but I'm really liking this conversation. So the question is, want to continue this during dinner next week? Say Friday night?
Well, you might not be a mind reader, but I can see the future. And I see us having a great time at dinner next Friday at night.
Greg smiles.
Great. Maybe we can even squeeze in a movie or something?
That's my number on AirDrop. Be sure to save it.
Greg stands up and looks at Doug. Nicole's just arriving into the room.
See you next week, Doug.
Doug just waves. He's in bliss. Greg walks away. Nicole sits next to Doug.
Someone did well tonight.
Doug looks at Nicole with a smile.
Do you want to get hammered with me?
Nicole smiles.
Yeah.
The two walk away. Hours pass, and Doug and Nicole are playing Uno. They are already pretty drunk and appear to be drinking every time they have to add a card to their hand.
God damn it again.
Nicole draws a card and takes a shot.
I told you I was good, you big-titted bandit.
Nicole looks at her boobs.
I'm not a bandit.
The two continue to play Uno. Nicole looks around the room really quickly. She gets a bit dizzy.
Yep, we're gonna have a walk back to my house. It's close by, right?
Did you know that Bruce Willis once did music?
Yeah?
I swear. Dude wanted to be called Bruno. That was his musician title. Kinda like how Donald Glover has Childish Gambino.
Do you do a lot of albums?
Nicole draws another card.
Fuck.
Man, you suck at this.
I'm a little buzzed, okay?
Anyway, what was your question?
Did Bruno do a lot of albums?
Oh, fuck no. In fact, the weirdest thing was his first album was called The Return of Bruno. What was he returning from? He never did an album before that.
Doug puts down a draw 4.
Draw 4 and drink up, little cowgirl.
Fuck a duck goose.
Nicole takes her cards and takes her shot.
Anyway, his last album was in 1989, and we all kind of forgot about it.
Except you.
I know you saw The Rise of Skywalker last month. Your thoughts?
I think I've had too much to drink.
Doug takes a shot.
Hey, that's cheating. You need to draw a card.
Doug takes another shot.
I need to catch up with you. God damn, Nicole. You alcoholic fish. Fish?
Doug grins widely.
Damn, this stuff works fast.
Now who's the drunk fish? Finding Dory? More like, we found Dory, and she was drinking. Drinking Dory!
Wait, whose turn is it?
Who cares? We were only playing Drunk Uno to have a noble excuse to get plowed super quickly. And for you to talk about Bruno.
This is why I'm glad I became friends with you way back in the high school days. You girl can finish this man's
Pepperoni pizza.
Sure, let's go with that.
Nicole looks around the room and notices Steve talking to some partygoers. She turns her attention back to Doug, who is trying to look at Nicole's cards. He straightens up when she turns her attention back to him.
I don't mean to get serious and shit, but do you ever wonder if people ever change? Like, truly change? Even after they've grown up and shit?
Anybody can change at any time, for better or for worse.
Is that the older man wisdom you have?
I'm only 3 years older than you.
Yeah, but I still have new charisma.
Why do you ask? The earlier question, I mean.
Nicole stares off into the party again.
I don't know. Sometimes I think we're cut into the cloth that we'll wear for the rest of our life. That we don't really change, we just evolve into our next form.
Nicole focuses back on Doug.
For better or for worse.
Is all this deep thinking because your pops isn't back yet?
Maybe. Partially. I have missed him a lot, but I've been thinking about this for a while now.
You okay at home?
Yeah, just stressed. I have to do all the chores and groceries, plus I'm still talking to that advisor at school. You know, they're trying to get me a work at school program.
To help with that undeclared status of yours?
Yeah, she says that if I get out into the workplace, it might help me with making some choices about my future. You know, since I've been Van Wildering things at school for a while now.
She really referenced Van Wilder?
Nah, just flourishing up the story.
Well, I think that's a good thing, and now I'm very glad we came out tonight.
Why to both?
Because one, anything that could potentially help my little Nicole become a more productive member of society while maintaining her level of awesomeness is good in my book. And two, because we were able to celebrate 2 potential victories tonight.
Nicole smiles.
Why are you so perfect?
Doug smiles.
Because we have each other.
Doug pours the two of them shots.
So on that note, let's keep celebrating this night into oblivion. I still need to catch up.
Nicole grins. Doug and Nicole pick up their shot glasses.
So enough talk. Have at you.
As the party wraps up, Doug and Nicole are outside. Doug is really drunk, as is Nicole. They are walking out of the house when all of a sudden the private parts partygoer stops Nicole. He is eating a pizza roll.
Hey, Nicole.
Nicole turns to him.
I'm sorry if I pissed off Doug earlier with that stupid private parts talk. I tried a new strain of weed and I was really fucking high.
It's okay, you fucking lovely melon.
Well, okay. But hey, I want to give you something. You know, to bury the hatchet and all. It's some of the best shit I've ever had. I think you'll enjoy.
The partygoer holds out his hand. A pill is on it. Nicole thinks for a moment, then takes the pill and swallows it.
Taking candy from a stranger. What a fucked up idea.
My name is Simon. So now we're not strangers. Have a safe walk home. Later, dog.
Fuck you.
Oh, that dog.
Simon walks away. Nicole goes back to Doug. The two start walking down the street.
And then the first boy will be named Jacob. That's a strong name, right? Like the type of fucker you could light a match on his stubble chin or something.
Doug puts his arm around Nicole.
Stubble is so fucking sexy. Do you like stubble, Nicole?
You're so drunk.
No, I'm not. I'm just buzzed. I need to pee.
Doug goes to the corner to pee. Nicole stares out into space. The pill starts taking effect. Nicole starts swaying back and forth. All of a sudden, stars appear around her. She's in space wearing sunglasses. She stares at the sun, shining bright in space. Nicole returns back to Doug. He holds her hand and they start skipping. Time slows down. Nicole lets go of Doug's hand. Doug is still moving in slow motion, but Nicole isn't. Nicole stares at Doug, skipping in slow motion. She grabs a lamp pole and starts swinging on it. Her hair flows in the wind, her eyes closed with a smile on her face. She enjoys this moment. The next day, Nicole awakens in her bed. She rubs her eyes and seems out of it. She reacts to something in front of her, her dog, staring at her, ready for her morning poop. Nicole starts getting out of bed.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Outside, Nicole walks her dog. She begins to think in her head again.
What's the deal with brunch? How is that invented? It was probably stoners. You know, they woke up and realized how late it was, but still wanted breakfast. Then some dude saw them, asked them why they were having breakfast so close to lunchtime. Then one of the stoners said, "This is brunch, man."
Nicole answers her phone.
Hello?
We see the person on the other line is Rebecca, a woman in her 30s, who talks to Nicole.
Hey, Nicole. Hi, Becca. It's been a while since we've hung out. I think the last time was that party Max had, right?
Yeah, I think so. The time of events in my head has been so muddled ever since Chris and I had Jack.
How is the little tyke?
He's doing okay. He's a demanding toddler now, so you know how that can be. Anyway, I actually called to let you know that Chris and I are hosting a Sunday brunch party in a few weeks, and I wanted to invite you over.
Nicole smiles.
Brunch, huh? Well, I appreciate the offer, but I probably won't wake up early enough to make it. I skip breakfast and brunch altogether and just go straight for the kill. Lunchtime.
Well, if you change your mind, you're more than welcome to show up. We'd love to have you.
Sure thing. I'll call you if anything changes. See ya.
Nicole's dog poops.
Finally.
Nicole walks back inside her house with her dog. She looks over to the kitchen area and heads over. Doug stands in her kitchen, making eggs. He notices Nicole.
Hey, Nikki.
Did you stay over last night?
Yeah, you insisted on walking back to your place since it was close by.
I did?
Yep, it was during Drunk Uno.
Nicole smiles to herself.
Oh yeah, that was fun. Wait, where were you when I was walking the dog?
Morning pee-pee time. Those with the elephant trunk in their pants have to pay a visit to the Super Bowl every morning.
Nicole sits down on the dining table.
You probably wish it was an elephant trunk.
What'd you say?
No, nothing, no. So, did you start all this, breakfast making while I was outside with the dog?
Yep.
Nice.
Like my sensei chef used to say, one must always wake up at the crack of dawn to hone their skills.
It's 9:30. This sure as hell ain't no crack of dawn.
The spirit is the same. Also, I'm really sorry about last night, with you having to take care of my drunken ass.
Ass, head, torso, the whole package was taken care of, Doughboy Dougie. I was shocked at how you not only caught up to me, but also managed to ascend beyond my drunken state. You were like Super Saiyan level 3 and shit.
Yeah, well, I'm making breakfast as my penance, aren't I? Plus, on top of that, I'll make sure we get our cars back. Good thing Steve lives close to you.
Nicole makes a face of annoyance.
Could you ask Hota to help you bring my car back? I don't really want to be in the same room with that Steve guy.
What is your deal with him? He seemed really nice, threw an awesome party, and really tried to reach out to you. Didn't you tell me at the party he was a cousin of yours and that you guys were really close when you were kids?
Nicole pours herself some coffee.
Yeah, I used to be his friend when we were kids, but that guy's a dick. My dad used to tell me he actually abandoned his brother after his parents died.
Abandoned? What the hell happened?
His parents died in a freak accident, car crash or something. His brother took it terribly and really needed his brother. But Stephen decided he wanted no part of it and left him on his own.
How's his brother holding up?
He tried to cope with things for a bit after Stephen left him, but then he killed himself.
Oh my god, are you fucking serious?
Totally serious.
How did Steve and his family take it?
From what I heard, Stephen showed up to the funeral, but they all knew that he was just there to look like he cared. Can you imagine that? Leaving the only close family you have, your brother, during the worst period of his life. No one really heard from him after that. Until I bumped into him at the party last night, I haven't seen him in years.
Doug looks at Nicole, filled with empathy.
I'm sorry, Nikki. We don't have to see that guy ever again if you don't want to.
Nicole smiles.
Thanks, Doug.
Doug serves their food.
But enough of this talk. Let us enjoy our breakfast of the champions and get ready for the day. After we're done, I'll walk over to Steve's and pick up my car, and I'll call Hulta to drop yours off later today. That tall chunk of man owes me, so no worries.
Sounds good to me.
Speaking of Hulta, are you going to his toga party this Saturday?
Hell yeah! Hota was drunk as shit and told me all of his secrets to that party, and I have to be there.
That fucker never told me.
That's because you tried too hard.
Well, he's meeting up with me for dinner on Thursday at my place. He promised to tell me the secrets to how he can afford all those parties of his in exchange for...
Hot sweaty sex!
He wishes. In exchange for those mini sausage rolls I can make. I was going to extend the invitation to you also, if you were free.
Nicole throws her arms in the air.
It appears I am. It'd be nice to hang out with friends before my stressful as all hell schedule next week.
You haven't told me anything about a stressful as hell schedule next week. What's up?
Well, I have that meeting at school with that career counselor.
How was that going, by the way?
It's alright. You remember I told you they're supposed to help you find a job for undeclared students?
Yeah, you told me it was a work program for undeclared students to help them figure out what they want to study.
Well, apparently, I still have to get a job through them in the traditional way.
So, interviews, resumes, etc.?
The whole works. On top of that, my dad is still out of town, like I told you last night, so all the chores, groceries, and household duties fall on me.
Don't you have school too?
I'm only doing electives this year, and they're all online. I don't know, Doug. With all this stuff and having to see Steven yesterday, I just feel like my life is on an endless loop of bullshit.
Look, Nicole, I know I offered help to you a while back, and you explained to me you like our friendship just the way it is, with no complications. I don't think any of this would add complications to what we have, and you do know I care for you. If you need some help with finding work or studying or anything, I can be there for you.
Nicole considers this for just a moment, and then smiles.
Oh, doughboy Dougie is being my white knight. What will I ever do without you, kind knight?
Doug smiles.
Alright, I get the picture.
The kind knight chose his words carefully to the young maiden, before he remembered the dough is still yet uncooked. Verily, how fucked I am, the knight thought.
Okay, Nicole, we are so done here.
Nicole smiles and blows Doug a kiss. As the days pass, we see Nicole doing a variety of mundane activities. She looks at a checklist of things she wants to get done by the end of the week. It reads as follows: prepare for job interview, you know you need this, get groceries, do daily chores, etc. Nicole mops her living room. She stops for a moment and gets a reminder on her phone. It reads, Dad comes back in 2 weeks, hang in there. Nicole stares off in space, then goes back to mopping. We see Nicole talking to herself in the mirror. She's wearing a business suit dress. She smiles and practices shaking someone's hand. Nicole struggles to get into her home while holding 2 heavy bags of groceries. Her dog greets her to Nicole's annoyance. Nicole reads an email from a job recruiter. It's from a service in her college that helps her find a job. We see Nicole scanning the email, and we focus on a key sentence. 3rd time's the charm, Nicole. We're sure this will help guide your undeclared status. Nicole has a moment of anxiety and closes her laptop. Nicole walks her dog. She's wearing headphones and looks tired. Nicole sits in a waiting room looking area. Her face shows concern and doubt. Later that night, we see Nicole driving in her car. She answers her phone.
Yeah, Doug?
You on the way?
Yeah, sorry, I'm a bit behind. I should be there in a few secs.
You should hurry up. I look so fucking awesome. I have flour all over me. Italian music is blasting in the background. I feel like I'm in Italy making pasta and getting by on my good looks, knowledgeable brain, and flour-stained clothes.
Nicole smiles.
Well, now I have to get there ASAP. Crack open that wine, Dougie!
Bitch, I'm on my third class.
Nicole arrives to Doug's house and walks up to his door. She's holding a fruitcake. Doug answers the door.
Hey, naked girl. Come on in.
Nicole walks in Doug's apartment and looks Doug up and down.
What, I missed your Italian delight mode?
Yuppers, and that's why you should show up to things on time.
Story of my life. Brought a fruitcake.
Nicole holds the fruitcake out in front of her and Doug takes it.
Because fruitcake so meets the Italian dinner theme of tonight.
Nicole sits on Doug's couch.
I was late, and it's all I found in my fridge that wasn't open.
Well, thanks all the same.
Doug goes back to the kitchen.
Any word on Jota?
He said he's on the way. He's bringing a friend too.
Who is it?
Volta said we've never met him.
Maybe he'll be cute?
Maybe he plays on my team.
Didn't you have that date with that cutie from Jota's party?
Nope, that's tomorrow. Ah, that must be Volta.
Doug heads to the door.
Does he get the speech about being late?
No, because he was picking someone up and he called ahead.
Nicole jokingly rolls her eyes.
Okay, Dad.
Hey, you.
Hulta and Steve stand in the doorway. They have beer. Doug is shocked.
Hi, Doug. Can we come in?
Absolutely. Come on in, Hulta and Steve.
Nicole becomes alert and looks in their direction. Steve and Hulta notice her.
Oh, hey, Nicole.
Hulta turns to Doug.
How do you know Steve's name?
Because I met him, Hulta, at your house party last week.
Hulta stops for a moment and thinks.
You did?
Yes, Hulta.
Wow. Well, I mean, in my defense, I was pretty fucking drunk that night. That's cool, though. We won't have any I just met you awkward moments.
Nicole looks pissed.
No, only the I know you awkward moments.
Doug, Steve, and Hulta all sit down.
Well, I think tonight will be a nice evening for all of us. I've made some delicious Italian food from scratch, and I've got some wine for all of us.
Doug grabs Hulta by the arm.
Come on, Hulta, help me get the wine.
Sure.
Hulta and Doug leave the living room. Steve still sits on the far end of the couch, while Nicole looks annoyed. Look, I can take a hint, and can tell you don't like me very much.
Well, I'm glad we're on the same page, Steven.
I'm just here for dinner and some good times. But if you don't want me around, I can ask Hulta if he could take me home early. Nicole turns to stare at him.
Don't act like I'm the problem here. You're the fucking problem here. You should have known better than to try and mingle with my close friends. It won't make us any closer or anything like that.
I didn't know you would be here. Hulta has been one of my oldest friends, and he invited me out tonight. Nicole, why exactly are you mad at me?
You seriously don't know?
I have an idea, based on past family exchanges, but I'd like to hear the details from you. Hulta and Doug walk in holding a bottle of wine and some glasses.
And we're back with wine. Hulta, would you kindly hand everyone a glass?
Nicole looks at Steve. Steve just stares at her blankly, while Hulta hands everyone a glass. Doug fills everyone's glasses.
Cheers.
Everyone drinks. Nicole keeps staring at Steve. Later in the evening, everyone is back on the couch again, having just finished eating. Doug comes out of the kitchen with some wine.
Oh, and that's the last of the dishes put in the sink. All I have to do is clean them.
Doug joins everyone on the couch. Thanks again for dinner, Doug. Everything came out really delicious.
Oh, yeah, it was great.
Thanks, fellas. I'm happy you guys found it tasty. I've been taking cooking lessons, you know. So, what do you guys want to do?
How about a game or something?
Like a board game? Card game?
Doug turns to everyone else.
What do you guys think?
I'm down for whatever.
Same.
Awesome. Let's see. I have Trivia Pursuit, Apples to Oranges.
I have a suggestion. It's a bit old school and childish, but how about Truth or Dare?
Oh, fuck no. Nicole, I'm super full. I can't be doing any of the dares you come up with.
Then just spout out some truth.
You know I like the dares.
Then buck up and go with the flow. You guys down too?
Sure.
Steve misses a beat. He just stares at Nicole for a moment. You want me to play as well?
Why not, Steven?
I'm in then.
Awesome. Let's start with you, Doug.
Do I go or pick someone?
I think you should pick someone. It's your house, so you should get the first go.
Alrighty then.
Doug scans the room. He sets his sights on Holta.
Holta, Truth or Dare?
I hate being picked first. Let me think. Dare.
I dare you to let Nicole wax a piece of your leg.
Just a piece of it. Not the whole thing, right?
Not the whole thing.
Alright, if Nicole is cool with it.
Totally fucking cool with it. I've always wanted to shave your back, and this is the closest I'm getting to it.
That's, sort of weird.
You still have some of that waxy stuff, right, Doug?
Of course, it's in the bathroom.
Nicole heads towards the bathroom.
You have wax stuff?
Yep,
You wax?
my wax.
But your arms and legs are hairy.
Well, yeah,
So where do you wax?
my asshole.
Holta stares in suspense.
Does it hurt?
It's worth it.
Nicole walks in with a waxing strip.
Alright, Jota. Laissez d'aller.
I already regret this.
Holta lifts up his pant leg. Nicole applies the strip.
Any last words, Jota Lance?
Just let me...
Nicole rips off the strip.
No! No, when you do it! Jesus, Nicole!
Wasn't it less painful when you didn't know it was happening?
That only works in the movies. Jeez, this stings.
Holta stares at Nicole.
Well, I know who's going next.
Don't shoot the messenger, that was Doug's plan.
That's true.
You big boob backstabber. I was just playing by the rules.
And so am I. Truth or dare, Doug?
Doug turns to Nicole.
Ugh, you're so next.
Doug turns to Holta.
Truth.
What actually happened that night at Max's party?
Max's party? You mean the day Max ran out bare-ass trying to find an animal?
Yup.
Oh, God, are you still on that?
Dude, I just really want to know.
A gentleman never kisses and tails.
You said truth. You gotta do it, or else you do a dare.
I guess it's been long enough to say it. Okay, fine. It was Linda Belmont.
Holta is wide-eyed.
Linda Belmont went down on you?
Not my finest moment.
She was the only woman you were ever with?
If you consider getting your penis sucked as ever with, then yes.
Oh my god! I had the biggest crush on her in high school. I even asked her out, and she friend-zoned me. Before friend-zoning was a thing!
I knew none of this.
Holy shit. I am stunned. Why did you go along with it?
This is technically a second truth, but the long and short of it, I was really drunk, man, and I totally regret it. I guess I was curious what it was like with a lady, and my curiosity, well, it killed my metaphorical cat.
Doug turns to everyone in the room.
Also, this stays in this room. I don't want this shit to spread.
My lips are sealed.
I already knew, but whatever.
Doug turns to Nicole.
Hey, Nicole, guess what? My turn again, so truth or dare?
Dare.
Always with the dare. Okay, I got it. I'm gonna get my guitar, and you're gonna sing that song we wrote.
Doug, come on, man.
Doug stands up.
Nope. It's on.
You wrote a song?
Yeah, it was during my senior year of high school when I met Doug. I wanted us to be in a two-piece rock band, but it never really took off. We ended up only writing one song together.
Doug walks in with his guitar.
That's right. We called it Feed Me, Jane Seymour, but it had nothing to do with Jane Seymour, which still feels really silly to say out loud. Anyway, you ready, Nikki?
Yeah. Son, put down your bag and have yourself a good time. Son, come take a seat and tell me about the good times. I still can't believe what she said. You felt so bad about it, but you can see what I said. The times are changing. Just close your eyes, think about it one last time, then open your eyes and give life a second chance. Just give life another chance.
Nicole looks at Doug.
Nope, I'm done.
But I was getting warmed up.
Not my problem, buddy. You told me to sing, but didn't specify for the entire song.
Doug puts down his guitar.
God damn it. I do this every time.
Anyway, it's my turn, right?
Nicole looks around the room. She spots Steve.
I pick Steven.
Steve half smiles.
I figured you would.
Truth or dare, Steven?
Dare.
I dare you to tell a truth of my choosing.
I'm pretty sure that's not how the game works. Doug starts thinking for a second.
You know, I'm not sure if the rules are against that, actually.
Oh, Steven here doesn't really care to follow the rules, or at least the societal ones. You know, like helping family and friends, shit like that.
I pick dare, Nicole. Why don't you be a team player and just tell me to do something silly?
You want me to be a team player? You fucking piece of shit.
Doug stands up.
So, Hota, why don't you follow me outside for a second? I have some, lovely cacti to show you.
Doug drags Holta outside with him.
You're not gonna push me into them again, are you?
Can we just get this over with and have you ask me all the same questions the other relatives ask me?
Don't fucking treat me like I'm beneath you.
Like you're beneath me? What the hell do you know about me? What do you think you know?
Enough.
Bullshit. This is something else, Nicole.
Shut up. You don't know me.
I did. Once upon a time. Sure, we haven't been friends for a long, long time, but I can tell you what I see in you now. It doesn't really take that much effort. Anyone can see that you're a person who takes too much pleasure in making other people feel like shit. And of course, you're such a party animal, aren't you? That's what people say about you, Nicole. People think you're a party-loving asshole. Steve leans forward. And what the hell does that say about you?
You're one to talk. You deserted your brother when he needed you the most. And then he fucking killed himself. And for what? So you could feel better about yourself? So you could ignore responsibilities? You're just like my piece of shit mother, Steve. What the fuck does that say about you, huh?
Oh, I can play that game too, Nicole. All the shit I said earlier, I heard from other people. So it must be true, huh? So I bet you're just like all the other wastes of space I've met in my life. The ones who are shitting away on what little time they have left in life. See how easy it is to make shit up? I bet you have a side to your story, and I have one to mine. Don't pretend like you have me figured out, because you don't know a thing about me. This is not the way I wanted this to go. I'm sorry for the things I just said to you. I'm going to leave now with Holta, and I'm sorry if I ruined your evening. Steve leaves the house. Nicole sits in the living room by herself, in silence. Later that night, Nicole's in her car, driving home.
What the hell does he know? Just because you come up with better words doesn't make your argument right.
Nicole thinks for a moment, then continues to focus on the road. Saturday night, an hour before the toga party. Nicole is in her room. She is getting ready for the toga party. We see her putting on her makeup, outfit, doing her hair, and more. We notice Nicole is still feeling that something is missing. Nicole is looking at herself in the mirror. She's ready for the party. Nicole answers the door. Doug is wearing his toga. He notices Nicole is not.
Where is your toga?
Not wearing one tonight.
Why?
Just go along with it.
Doug rolls his eyes while smiling.
Whatever. You ready to head out?
Yup. Let's go. Oh, by the way, how was your date with Greg last night?
It was really, really nice. That dude is pretty to look at, and is pretty good at listening, too. We both had plans tonight, but we want to meet up next weekend.
That's so cool, Doug. I'm happy the oven is preheating to cook that dough.
Oh, you and your dough. Also, before we go, I
wanted to talk about Thursday night.
I was stupid, Doug. I'm really sorry about that. I promise that I'm done antagonizing that guy.
I was gonna ask how you're doing. I heard him talking to you through the door, and he said some strong shit that night.
I don't know, Doug. I haven't known how I felt about certain things for a while now, and I doubt I ever will.
We all come around. You know I'll be here for you if you need me.
And that's pretty much a given, Doug. I know you'll be there. I don't know if I'll ever be ready to talk about it. I'm sorry if I'm being dramatic. I've been thinking about the past lately and what I used to think my life would be like now. When I was in high school, I had the whole world in my hands. But now, I just don't know.
Let's pause those thoughts for now and get shit-faced with some chicks and dudes in togas. Because if life has taught me anything, it's to get drunk in togas and shit.
You've already started drinking, haven't you?
Doug shrugs. I took an Uber here. The two walk out the door. Arriving at the toga-themed party, Nicole and Doug walk in. Holta sees them.
Well, isn't this familiar? Would you lovely drink love some folk? Okay, so I'm like really fucking drunk right now.
No worries, man. We can find our own drinks.
Righteous. Nicole, why aren't you wearing a yoga?
You mean a toga?
I'm drunk.
It's fine, dude. I'm a time traveler. I don't need a toga.
That's so fucking meta!
Is it?
Still meta. You are free to party, my ladies.
Holta walks off. Did he just call me a lady?
We need to get to his level quickly.
Nicole and Doug move to a group of people playing a drinking game. A really drunk partygoer approaches them.
Hey, ladies, do you want to join us?
Doug turns to Nicole.
Why the fuck is everyone calling me a lady?
Nicole ignores Doug and talks to the partygoer.
We'd love to. What are you guys playing?
Nicole and Doug sit with the group on the couch.
We're playing Ultimate Circle of Death.
Why is it ultimate?
Because it's like every drinking game in one.
Go on.
So we have these cards here on the floor, we have this Twilight Zone show on the TV, a dude eating chocolate fondue, we have flip cups set up outside, and we have a group of people standing by to make Chugorama happen. Basically, you get a card, and we have some rules for each card. Some of them make you do truth or dare, others make you drink for things you haven't or have done in the past. If you get truth or dare, you have to drink and then tell a truth, or have to drink and then do a dare. The dare will always be a round of flip cup or an attempted chug-o-rum. We decide by way of rock, paper, scissors.
Now I remember what flip cup is. That's the one where you and a team drink what's in your cup and then flip it upside down on the table, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What the hell is Chugorama?
Oh, some dudes that used to own a big house near here used to play it. Basically, you get a bunch of beer, like a six-pack or something, and you pick a competitor. And you run to your six-pack and try to finish your six-pack before the other guy.
You guys have played this?
Of course! Hell, I'm on my third round.
What about the Twilight Zone?
Oh yeah, I forgot. So anytime you look at the TV, you have to drink.
And the chocolate fondue guy?
Oh, well, we just wanted a guy eating chocolate fondue to be sitting there.
Jesus H. Christ. You guys must be beyond wasted. The partygoer shrugs.
I'm in college. This is an art.
Sounds like fun to me. I'm getting the drinks.
Doug stops Nicole. Nicole, get me something light. This is a battle that I think I'm too damn old for. Nicole pats Doug on the back and walks away. Doug looks at the game and is troubled by it. Some toga partiers are talking in the foreground as Nicole heads to the fridge in the kitchen to grab some drinks. She squats as she searches for drinks. She finds them and grabs them. Before she stands up, she notices Steve and Holta walk into the kitchen. They don't notice Nicole. She stays down behind a counter. Steve is carrying some pizzas and sets them down on that same counter.
You sure you don't want to stay, Sir Steve? I hear those lovely college guys are making another round of Ultimate Circle of Death. They might let you be the chocolate fondue guy.
That's really nice of you to offer, again, man. But, I don't want to cause any drama anymore.
What's the drama that thou art talking about?
You told me that Nicole was coming later on, and I'm tired of pissing her off. I want to make a little cameo to see you, but I'm gonna leave before she gets here.
Oh, fuck. She's already here, dude.
Oh, then I better get out of here.
I'll walk you out, homie. I'll bodyguard you. I hope things work out between you and Nicole one day.
Yeah, that'd be nice. At the very least, I wish that, for once, someone in my family would hear me out. Thank God for you guys, dude.
You guys?
My friends, dude. You guys get me more than family. You guys are my real family.
Of course, dude. Always.
Nicole stands up.
Steven?
Steve is shocked. God damn it, I'm leaving.
Don't get near him, Nicole! I'm his guard, body, and family!
Steve, do you want to talk?
What?
If you want to talk to me about anything that's on your mind, I can listen.
You really mean that? This isn't a joke?
I sincerely mean it.
Nicole hands Hulta her drinks.
Doug is expecting these.
I'm totally going to drink these.
Nicole starts heading to the front door. Steve reluctantly follows. Steve and Nicole exit the house and sit on some chairs set outside the door. Not to sound ungrateful, but it would be weird of me not to ask why you care to hear what I have to say all of a sudden. Especially after our last encounter.
Because I think it's fair to hear your side of the story. Whatever it is that you said last time made me curious for whatever goddamn reason.
So it's curiosity? Well, that's a first. But I did tell you that I was willing to speak to you if given the chance. Steve looks at Nicole for a moment. Let me ask you something first. Are you happy with your life?
Happy? I guess so. There's some things that I wish were different, or things I wish had never happened, but for the most part, I like how things have played out in my life. What does this have to do with your story?
Steve stares off into space, as if trying to remember memories from long ago. I wasn't a happy person before my parents died. It's a bit hard to remember, but when I was younger, I was living with my parents and my brother. My grandparents had lived with us for a long time, but things were starting to turn sour. My grandfather was getting older, and my grandmother was starting to forget who we were and who she was.
I remember Dad talking about that. Your grandmother was... well, she didn't even remember her own daughter at that point.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of our family talked about it too. For a while, it brought us all together. We were strong and united. My brother and I were real close when we were younger, but right after the dreaded puberty era hit us, things changed real fast. He had problems, to say the least, and he would take them out on me. My mom and dad were always there to fix things, to make sure we were both okay. Steve looks at Nicole. Do you remember when my parents died? Nicole thinks for a moment.
I remember some things, but not the whole picture.
Steve smiles. It was a long time ago. They died around the same time I started college. The day I found out, I had actually just spoken to them a few hours before. They were driving back from a trip they had taken, which they would often do. They really loved each other and always made time to be with each other and have little romantic getaways. I admired that. I always felt that I would continue that tradition if I ever got married. My brother Liam was the older of us both, so naturally relatives thought he should be the first to find out. So they called him. And I was in my room at the time when Liam got the call. He burst into my room and told me, "Our relatives are driving me crazy. Mom and Dad just died, and they can't calm down to tell me the details." And that's how I found out my parents died. Later on, I got the details from him. It was a car crash. Fatal. Freak accident. I hated my brother, but I couldn't even focus on that at the moment. I called whoever I could to tell them, including my grandfather. I didn't want them to find out the same way I did. Tears began to roll down Steve's face. He cried. He said things like, I was supposed to die first. Then we did what we had to do and gave Mom and Dad a funeral, and I was stuck with Liam. Steve turns to Nicole. We stayed at my parents' house for a bit, but eventually sold it and stayed in an apartment to save money. Liam started working to make ends meet. He never had any intentions of going to college, and getting a job out of high school was something he just fell into. Every day with him was terrible. He would make passive-aggressive statements about how I cooked, cleaned, and helped out around the house. I would tell people and they would say it was grief, but I knew that was bullshit. My entire life he showed me that he only cared about himself. Our parents dying just gave him more to complain about. How no one would be there for him. How he had to take care of me now. Liam had issues, Nicole. He would look nice in public because he hid it well. But in private he would treat you like you were a tool to him. Nothing more. Steve stares out into space again. His definition of family was a support group that would drop everything to fix his problems. I couldn't live with him anymore. I've always had anxiety issues, and they were getting worse around him. I would tell my friends about it, my grandfather, other relatives, and even Liam himself. All of them would never take me seriously. I didn't feel like living anymore. That's when I knew I had to leave. So I did.
And Liam's suicide a few months later?
He couldn't live by himself. Steve looks to Nicole. But I couldn't keep living like that. I tried to get him therapy, but that's not what he wanted. He would always shush me off and say I was an asshole, a deserter. He would never have any empathy for me or anyone else. I'm sorry he died, and I did mourn him, but I did the best I could with him. It wasn't my fault that he chose to take his own life. Nicole leans in.
When you told people this story, your side of it, what would they say?
They thought my place was with Liam. That I should have bonded with him over our parents' death and buried that hatchet between the two of us. They were just ignorant and didn't understand the problems Liam had. He needed professional help. If they had just lived with him, if they had just seen the things I saw, they would have understood me better. I tried so hard to help him, but I needed help. Nicole looks at Steve for a moment. She doesn't know what to say, so she says what comes out naturally.
I'm so sorry, Steve.
Steve tries to straighten up and smiles weakly. Thank you. That really means a lot.
I could be nicer too, from now on. I've been a real asshole to you.
You only knew what you heard from other people. I understand.
Steve, the choices you made, your decision to commit to leaving no matter how uncomfortable it felt, did you regret that?
Never. I saved my life.
How are you so certain?
Because I'm here, Nicole. I never asked myself, I wonder what would have happened if I did that. Instead, I did it. Blind faith is a hard pill to swallow, but if it feels right, you have to do it. No one should ever have to wonder what could have been. The door to the house opens, and out walks Doug and the guy from the first party, Greg.
Oh, well, howdy, you two.
Doug, are you leaving?
Yes, ma'am. I actually came to find you. Let's talk in private.
Doug and Nicole leave Greg and Steve behind and walk onto the streets. A few feet away from Holta's driveway, Doug and Nicole stand in the streets.
Was that Greg? That dude from the party?
Yep. As it turns out, Greg's plans tonight was this party. He was invited too. He wants to take me back to his place and show me his collection of laser discs.
Laser what?
It's old video stuff and I could care less, but he's letting me into his man cave.
That's awesome, Doug. I don't want to be a buzzkill, but be careful tonight. You're so happy, and I don't want to see you get hurt, and then I would have to hate somebody else. Not that I wouldn't. I would totally hate that dude for you. And
Doug puts his finger over Nicole's mouth and smiles warmly at her.
I do have worries. And as a human being, I'll always have worries about the unknown. But as long as I have you as a friend for support, I'll always have some cushion to fall back on.
Nicole smiles.
I mean that much to you, huh?
Of course you do, you horse's ass.
Okay, well, I think I'm going to head out too.
What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong. Just thought I'd call it a night early this time. Who knows? I might even wake up early tomorrow or something.
I love you, Nicole. Be sure to call me up with details tomorrow. Better call me around the afternoon time, if you catch my drift.
Doug winks at Nicole and starts to walk away. Nicole's confused.
Details on what?
Doug turns around and smiles at her.
Oh, what happened tonight? I could tell something's up. But I think it might be a good thing.
You really do cut to the core of me, don't you, Uno loser?
If I didn't, then where would be the fun?
Doug walks away. Nicole smiles to herself and starts walking back to her car. The next day, Nicole sits on her bed. She's in a robe and her hair is wet. It looks like she just took a shower. She stares off into space.
Blind faith. Committing to something. Is it worth it? Why not just live in the moment? Why tie yourself down to something?
Nicole gets up. She walks to her vanity and starts brushing her hair.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have left Steve like that. The man only just poured his heart and soul to me, and I left him there like an asshole. Even after I promised to be nicer to him.
Nicole stops brushing her hair, as if she came to a realization.
Am I an asshole? I don't really have many friends, just Doug and Hoda.
Nicole, in an irritated manner, puts her brush down and starts pacing her room.
You see? I fucking stopped for one moment to hear someone out, to have a deep conversation, and look at me. I'm overthinking everything. Having, what I think, is a mini existential crisis. I should have stayed with Steve last night and talked to him more. I wouldn't have felt so goddamn guilty today.
Nicole looks at her clock.
Fuck, it's early. I haven't been up this early since high school, and it's a Sunday, too. Maybe I should go out, do something. Get some tasty treats at Target or something.
Nicole turns to her vanity. A lone post-it is stuck to her mirror. It reads, Rebecca, brunch, Sunday at 10 a.m. Nicole thinks for a moment. She then picks up her phone and calls someone.
Becca, hey! I want to know if you guys are still doing that brunch thing today. In 2 hours? Okay, I think I'm actually going to be able to make it. Okay, will do.
Nicole looks at the same crumpled paper from earlier, with the words resolutions faded on it. Nicole moves it over to see another note with a phone number written on it. It also says Adam on it. Nicole contemplates something for a moment.
Also, would it be okay if I invited someone?
2 hours pass, and we are at Chris and Rebecca's house, the people throwing the brunch. A knock is heard on the door. Rebecca goes to answer it. She holds her toddler. Nicole stands in the doorframe. She's holding a bundt cake.
Nicole, come on in. It's probably super hot outside.
Nicole steps inside the house. She hands Rebecca the bundt cake.
Yeah, it was. And who's this little cute button?
This is little Jack. Wave hi, sweetie.
Little Jack waves hi.
He's a little shy today.
It's cool. So, I wasn't sure what to bring to a brunch party, so I brought a bundt cake. They always seemed classy to me.
That's super nice of you. Just put it in the kitchen with the other foods and have fun. Oh, where's the friend you wanted to bring? Was he not able to make it?
No, he's on the way.
Great.
Nicole walks into the kitchen and puts the bundt cake down. She starts scanning the living room. We see people chatting and having a great time. Rebecca walks into the kitchen.
Feel free to have as much as you'd like. Everybody brought so much, we'll be eating for days.
Speaking of where's your better half?
Oh, Chris is upstairs still asleep. He's been such a good daddy, little Jack, that I let him go out with his friends and he sorta... Well, he had a bit too much fun last night.
Yeah, I know all about that.
You know, I have to say, I'm sort of surprised he showed up. We really haven't hung out a whole lot since Chris and I had Jack.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm not much of a morning or afternoon person, and you guys usually do stuff around that time.
It's cool. Chris and I were once creatures of the night, but we sort of grew out of it eventually. I do miss ladies' night, though.
Nicole examines Rebecca.
Do you really miss it? I mean, if you could change time and go back to that sort of lifestyle, would you do it?
Rebecca smiles warmly.
I miss taking care of a rampant child with my best friend? Never. I'll get it.
Rebecca goes to get the door. Nicole thinks to herself for a moment.
There's that reassurance again. What's with these people? They can really blindly assume that this is more important to them?
Rebecca and Steve walk into the kitchen.
Nicole, Steve tells me he was your +1?
That's him, alright.
Great! You guys enjoy!
Thank you. Rebecca walks off. Steve moves to Nicole. She's so peppy.
She's been like that for years. Thanks for coming, by the way.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me. Thought I pissed you off again the other night, so I was surprised by the invite.
No, not at all. I'm really sorry for leaving you like that.
It's okay. Honestly, being able to open up like that to family, you could have punched me in the face and it still would have been okay.
I kinda doubt that.
So, what do you want to do? I love brunches. Only time I can have waffle and some french fries in public and not be judged.
I kinda wanted to talk to you more, like we did last night.
Sure. About me? Because I sort of said all there is to say.
About me, actually. I think I have to get some things off my chest, too.
Steve takes us in for a moment. Let's go to that balcony. The two head for the balcony. Outside in the balcony, Nicole and Steve sit on the balcony chairs. This is a nice view.
It's a parking lot.
We see the parking lot view. Now, beyond that, and over there, Steve points to the distance. We see a small park with a creek.
Yeah, I guess that is nice.
It's also really hot outside.
Yeah, maybe we should start talking.
Let's do it. What's up?
This is really hard for me to do, so bear with me.
Okay.
When you spoke to me yesterday about the things that happened in your past and the choices you had to make, it reminded me of some of the things that had been on my mind for years.
Steve pays closer attention to Nicole.
I've only ever told Doug what I'm about to tell you, but I made some New Year's resolutions a few years ago.
Nicole takes out the paper with the faded word resolutions on it.
I wrote only one resolution on it, even though I wrote resolutions on the outside of the paper. It says, take a chance on something or someone. I haven't been able to do that.
Why do you feel that way?
I guess it's mostly my mom. She left my dad right when I started college for the stupidest of reasons. She was caught cheating on my dad, and she still thinks she can act like my mom. They were together for so many years, but it was all a waste of time. It makes me not want to put my trust in new people. It'd be all a waste of time.
Is that why you fear new people?
I don't fear new people. I just like to keep them at arm's distance.
Except for Doug.
Doug's known me since high school, that's different.
You told me you've told Doug about this. Did he try to help you with your resolution?
In more ways than one. He tried introducing me up to some of his single cousins and friends. Sometimes it wasn't even for a date, it was just to make a new friend. He tried helping me sort out a major, join a sorority, write for the school newspaper, stuff like that.
None of it worked, did it?
Not really. Some of them were fun, but nothing seemed to stick.
You changed, though. I could tell.
What do you mean? I have no major picked, and I'm in my 4th year of college, and I can't even bother to stick around with people for more than 5 minutes.
You're wrong. I'm still here. Steve checks his phone's watch. And I've definitely been here longer than 5 minutes. Nicole stares at Steve. She smirks slightly. Nicole, even when you left abruptly last night, you still stayed and listened to what I had to say. You called me here the next day to talk to me about how you feel. This is taking a chance at something. You're doing it right now. Nicole smiles.
I guess you're right.
These things take time, and you should start small. But as long as you give something a shot, regardless of the outcome, you'll never be haunted by your choices. Trust me. Steve gets up. Now, let's get inside. The waffles call to me.
I'll be there in a sec.
Steve smiles and goes inside. Nicole takes another paper from her wallet, the crumpled one that says Adam on it. She stares off into the park again. Later in the day, Nicole is back in her house. She lays in her bed. The Adam note is to the left of her phone to the right of her.
Take a chance. Is it really that simple? What if I hate it? Steve says start small. Doug says he wants to find out. But what do I want?
Nicole smiles.
Sure, why not?
Nicole stands up and starts dialing Adam's number. She begins pacing.
Is this Adam? Yeah, it's me, Nicole, the only girl whose phone died on New Year's Eve. Yeah, it's been busy. Rough start to the year, but anyway. Hi.
The end. This has been a Robot Head Entertainment production. Party Animal, the audio drama. Featuring the voices of Lena Cortez, Henry Pelaez, Chris Cortez, Rebecca K. Sampson. Written and directed by Chris Cortez. Featuring music from their respective authors.